Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm opening up by just showing you a few gratuitous photos of Queenstown in New Zealand, because that's where I've spent the last week or so, and it's been absolutely tremendous, an awesome part of the world. I highly recommend getting down there if you can, and in fact, this video, there's going to be a bit of a mention of Queenstown, and I'll get into that soon. But anyway, here I was, waking up on a beautiful morning down in Queenstown with the Remarkables in the background. I open up my laptop, and I see that I have some new messages in my junk mail, which is where I've been checking regularly just in case I get the invite from Microsoft Flight Simulator. And there it was, Microsoft Flight Simulator team. And to avoid any strikes, I'm going to use my own music to avoid copyright. Dun dun dun! PC pre-order is now live. What? So it's not an invite, bummer, but pre-order is now live. When is the game coming out? August the 18th! Unbelievable. So as you can imagine, I was pretty shocked. I wanted to make a video straight away, but I couldn't because I didn't have my PC. Funnily enough, it's not the sort of thing you take on your carry-on luggage or even in your check-in baggage. It would not survive. So I've had to wait 4 or 5 days till I got home to make a video on Microsoft Flight Simulator. And of course, you'll be across the news right now. August the 18th. We get our grubby little mitts on this game and finally get to see what it's all about. And excitement levels have gone beyond 9,000, through the roof. And so really looking forward to getting into the game and trying it out. And of course, we've got quite a few more details around what they're going to offer you when you first buy the game. There's 3 or 4 options that you have available, and I thought in the video today, let's just run through and take a look at the different versions that Microsoft Flight Simulator is putting on the table, and maybe some of the thought processes around which one you should pick up. At the end of the day, you can pick up whatever one you want. Your budget's going to be a big factor, no doubt. But for me, I'll show you my thought process when I have that I went through, I should say, in deciding which version I'm going to get. So here's this little email here from Microsoft Flight Simulator, and you can go ahead and you can go pre-order now, and we'll fire it up right here. So here's a dinky little thing. Here's something to just drive you insane, and I've seen a little bit of commentary on that. So we can stay in United States English, or I can go to the New Zealand site, New Zealand English. It's both English, by the way. One will show New Zealand prices, New Zealand dollars, and one will show United States. So let's just open up the United States site for a start. And down here you can see 3 options available. You've got the standard pre-order. These are all pre-orders at the moment, obviously. The standard version, $59.99. Deluxe pre-order, $89.99. This is US dollars, and $119.99 for the premium deluxe version. And so we'll take a quick look at what these are all about very, very soon. But here goes something. Don't do this. What I'm about to do, don't do. Let's go in and let's go $59.99 US dollars. Oh, hold on. Helps if I have myself on the right screen here. $59.99. So this says that at a US price of $59.99, I could expect it to be around $90 New Zealand, $91, there or thereabouts. So here we go, the standard edition, $59.99. Let me go into New Zealand, $109.90. That is not what I'm looking for right here. And for a start, it's like, man, that's a bit of a rip, isn't it? But what it might be is in New Zealand there is goods and services tax of 15%. So by the time you take 90, 9 and half of that was 94, so 104. So we're getting closer. So I'm not going to get too wound up about that, but I think there have been some other countries around the world where the prices don't quite stack up. But anyway, don't do it. It will just drive you crazy. So I'm going to stick to the New Zealand site. No, I'm not. I'm going to stick to the US site because most people who watch my videos are in US, so you'll know what we're talking about. So like I said, there are 3 versions. So for a start, let's just cover off the Xbox Game Pass. So you are able, if you are a member of Xbox Game Pass for PC, you will get access to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, you won't own the game. It will just be as part of the range of games that they offer. And they offer a whole bunch of different games, but it might be a really good way, if you just want to try it out on the standard version, which is going to still be pretty good by the looks of it, you can go ahead, be a member of the Xbox Game Pass, maybe just do it for a month, and you get to download the game, figure it out, and see if it's something that you would like. It's a very good and cost-effective way of getting into it, particularly, if I click on here, hopefully this will work, everybody. Xbox Game Pass this month, in New Zealand at least, and it's taken ages, come on, come here, $1, right here. $1 to get it, to join up. It's an introductory offer, so why not? For $1, I think that's American, and it's usually $4.99 a month, I think. I think that's American dollars. Have a look, it'll tell you. But for that, for $1, you can get access to Microsoft Flight Simulator. And so, hey, it's worth doing that for $1. So you might do that. Obviously, you know, if you think you're gonna play this game and love it and be able to run it and all that sort of stuff, then you just go and buy the version outright. Then you own it. It's all good. But if you just want to try it out, see how your system runs it, all that sort of stuff, jump in, grab the Xbox Game Pass for a month. It costs you $1. Get into it. Even at $4.99, it's pretty much a bargain. Get access to it. So that's the first way, the first thing that you might decide to do just to get your hands on the game and figure out whether it's right for you. And of course, the standard edition, it doesn't have as many airports and aircraft. We're about to go through that. So you will have access to a limited amount of those. But apart from that, it will be pretty much a full game. And so it could be a good way for you to get into it. So what we're going to do now is let's look at the 3 versions and let's think about what version might be right for you and how I came up with what I'm going to go ahead and buy. Okay, everybody, here we are in the pre-order FAQs, and really there's going to be 3 considerations when you're deciding what version is right for you. Budget, obviously, I've already talked about that. Budget's going to be a determining factor. So, you know, you might decide just to do that demo through the Game Pass. That might be a good option to get into it. Or if you're hardcore, you know you're going to get a lot of use out of this. You want everything, well, it might be an easy option to take the premium. But really, there's 2 other factors. One is the aircraft that you want to fly, and the others are the airports, you know, your favorite airports you want to fly out of also, because there are a bunch of different custom airports that are in the game, and they're a lot more highly detailed than just the standard airport. So let's take a look at the aircraft, and I'll talk you through my thought process, because when this was first announced and looked at the pricing and stuff, I thought, maybe just the standard version at 110 New Zealand dollars. That's about what a AAA game would cost you. I was thinking maybe that's probably where I want to be. And there would need to be some pretty compelling reasons for me to get one of the upgraded versions. So let's go through it. So straight away I could see the A320 was going to be included in the standard edition. So that ticked a big box for me. That's definitely an aircraft that I'll fly. The 747, once again, another one. In terms of the GA aircraft, Cessna 152, clearly my favourite GA aircraft. To see that in the standard version, it's just confirming that, yeah, standard version is probably where I want to go. And also the 208, the Grand Caravan. So this ticks the standard version ticks a lot of boxes until I looked at the deluxe version. And so for the deluxe version, you get an extra 5 aircraft. Here they are here. You got the couple of diamond aircraft in there, the DV20 and DA40. But this is the one for me, the Cessna 152 Aerobat and the standard Cessna 172 Skyhawk. So straight away, I knew that I definitely wanted the Aerobat version of the 152. So for me, get into the deluxe. I'm thinking, okay, deluxe is where I need to be. Until I went to the premium section. And once again, another 5 aircraft. So you just need to decide, do you think you'll fly these? I saw the 787 Dreamliner. And of course, Air New Zealand, our national carrier over here, I do a lot of flights, replicating their flights. They've got a fleet of 787. So to be able to fly those is going to be, that's definitely something I'd like to do, and I'd definitely do a bit of. So it looked like the choice was made for me. I'm going to have to go fork out the big bucks and go for the premium edition. But I do get a lot of good aircraft if I do decide to go with that option. If you do decide to go just for the standard option, though, there's heaps of great aircraft in there. You've got a long-haul 747, your mid-range A320, and, of course, a bunch of different general aviation aircraft in there. Also, maybe you're into some aerobatics, you've got the extra in there. So definitely a few options for you. So forking out the big bucks, you're going to get another 5 extra aircraft. So it's quite a bit of coin, I've got to say, for the content that you get. But in the long run, it's probably, without knowing what they're looking to do in the future, I would say they'll probably offer these as DLC or something like that. So it's probably cheaper. You'd expect to get it as a package up front, but time will tell. So there you go. So there goes the aircraft that are available. They've got on the site here, they've got a plain text version of that diagram, so you can check that out. So next one is airports. So as they talk about here, these are customized, handcrafted airports that come with all these different additions. in addition to the 37,000 airports that are also in the sim. So these ones are probably going to be more realistic with a lot more detail in them. So for me, without looking at the list, there was 3 or 4 countries that I really wanted to make sure that would come into my decisioning. Anything in New Zealand, which I wasn't really expecting anything. Australia, so I fly in and out of there quite a bit in my sim. Pacific Islands, if that's available. Also Canada, do quite a bit of flying out of Canada. And also United States, some of the bigger airports in the United States. That's generally where I fly in my simming. I don't do a lot in Europe. So it's more in those sorts of areas. So when I went through here, I was absolutely stoked. Right here, Queenstown Airport in New Zealand, a beautiful part of the country, as I mentioned up the front of the video. And to have that one included as a highly detailed airport with that surrounding scenery that's there, that will probably be the first place that I'll go. So it's part of the standard edition, so I'm really, really happy about that. I'm already going for the premium because of the aircraft, but if I didn't, I'd be more than happy with those. If I take a look at some of these other ones here, you got JFK, another pretty popular airport, got Seattle in there. You got Stewart in Canada, so that's obviously replicated quite a few times in other sims. It seems to be a popular airport to fly out of. And Sydney Airport, so that's Kingsford Smith International Airport out of Sydney. I've done a ton of flights in and out of there. I really love it. So to have that in there too, absolutely stoked. And then you got Toronto down there, so CYTZ. So another Canadian airport. So, for you guys that are more interested in maybe the European, you've got a few options here. You've got France, Ireland, you have got some UK, you've got Gibraltar. What else have you got here? Charles de Gaulle, so another decent size airport right there. But it's not huge in terms of European. There's enough, but not massive amounts. Of course, you're going to have this other just normal auto-generated airports there. But if we look at the deluxe version right there, this is where a couple more European options come in. You've got Schiphol there in the Netherlands, and plus you've got Adolfo Suarez Madrid Barajas. I absolutely murdered that, so apologies to everybody who are from Spain because that was terrible. And of course you've got Chicago O'Hare International Airport right there, Cairo and Cape Town, so a couple of extra options there in Africa for those people who enjoy flying out of those. So looking at the premium versions right here, you get in Denver, you get in Dubai, which is probably going to be a fairly popular one, Frankfurt in Germany, Heathrow, obviously a massive airport over there in the UK, and that's certainly going to appeal to the European population who do enjoy flying out of there. And an old favourite, San Francisco, KSFO, looking forward to being able to fly out of there too. So had the aircraft put me into the standard bundle, it wouldn't have been as much of an automatic option to go to premium. That's really because of the fact that Queenstown in New Zealand is part of their standard pack. So I really would have had to think hard about whether I was going to go for some of these other options because, KSFO is quite a pull for me, but I don't know. Had it not been for the aircraft, I might have been 50-50 whether I'd go for the premium version. But as you can see, a ton of great content in there for a start, highly detailed. And of course, the aircraft partnerships that they're going to have, it's going to provide more and more content as you go. And hopefully, if they don't have the exact aircraft you want, no doubt in the near future, well, I don't know if it's a near future, but in the future, they'll add that in. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's, definitely for me, it's going to be an expensive operation because what did we say here? Where are we? That's just, we're back in the US site. I've lost it. Let's ignore that. I know you compare editions. Here we go, like 119. So it's going to be up around $200 New Zealand, there or thereabouts for me to go for the premium version, which stings quite a bit to be honest. But looking at the quality of the product, and it seems to be well worth it in my opinion. And you can make that decision yourself, obviously. But 18th of August, everybody, and for the first time in nearly 15 years, the flight sim world is abuzz and in anticipation of a new title, a next generation title coming out. We haven't had it for a long time, and super excited about it. So looking forward to getting some flights done and really checking out what this flight simulator can do. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. 1 month away, the countdown begins. I want to say a huge thank you very much for checking out the video. And if you are new, how about you consider subscribing? It costs nothing at all except a little bit of self-respect. And smash your like button because, YouTube algorithm loves that sort of stuff. And let us know what you think down in the comments. And until next time, everybody, take it easy.